In the foothills of Mount Fuji, this is known as suicide forest. For nearly 50 years, troubled Japanese have come here to kill themselves and start a journey to the dark side.
It's very beautiful here, but once you step in, you will find it hard to find your way out, and it's difficult to be found. That's why it attracts people with suicide on their mind.
Mr. Sawaguchi's group of volunteers try and persuade people to live and provide a telephone helpline. In the last year, they have recorded 170 suicides. For the vulnerable, it's become a forest of fears: fear of debt, fear of loneliness, and fear of failure. When he lost his job after 20 years, Yukio Sugiyama, who doesn't want to be identified, thought he was a failure. He went to suicide forest to die, but failed. The knife marks on his wrist still visible. Somehow he survived 6 days in freezing temperatures, dressed only in underwear, before he was found.
In Japan, your occupation takes such important weight in your life. You have to have a job to manage your life. And if you lose it, you lose your position in society, and even your existence seems to vanish with it.
Each year in Japan, more than 31,000 people don't fail. The number killing themselves is rocketing up by 15% already this year. There is a stigma involved in suicide here. At the very least, it embarrasses families as well as causing hardship. But it's at night time, away from people, away from work, that the most vulnerable are the most at risk. This is the Jisatsu Boshi Suicide Stop volunteer organisation in Tokyo. It operates between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. every day and takes more than a capacity 12,000 calls from the desperate each year.
There are different levels of phone calls. Some are from people who really are about to commit suicide. Some others just want someone to talk to about their less serious problems. I think there are more calls from people facing economic difficulty due to the current economic downturn.
Call centres like this have only been operating for 10 years, but there are not enough to meet growing demand.
The number of people wanting to die is getting bigger, and it's not that they're just entertaining that idea in their minds. There are more calls these days from people who are giving themselves a shorter time until they commit suicide.
Funding is voluntary, but government is becoming more aware of a problem growing by the week.
We're alarmed that there's a sharp rise, especially in the 30s age group. Because of competition at work, they have to constantly prove themselves, and the pressure can be too much.
In the dark place, a bike lies seemingly abandoned, maybe innocent, maybe left behind by someone who found the pressure of life just too much. But as the economic hardships pile on the Japanese, many more are expected to make the one-way journey into suicide forest and an escape from a changing world. Tony Birtley, Al Jazeera, near Mount Fuji, Japan.